And yeah, so let's fucking do it. Okay, so today's workshop is on creative expression, inspiration, and plagiarism. I wanted to start with this because I feel like as creatives and just like newbie entrepreneurs and whatever, like if you're a content creator, you're an artist. If to me, if you're a human being, you're an artist in some way, and art is fucking everywhere. And I think that we get caught up in like our brains of what art is. Like, oh, I don't make paintings, so I'm not an artist. And that is so not accurate. Like, you can create art with food, you can create art with smoke, you can create art like a gymnast is an artist. Like, everything that we do, how we are in the world, is fucking art, and it's amazing. And I think that we get caught up in like, oh, I'm not an artist because I don't do X, Y, and Z. Like, fuck that. You are human, and it is your birthright to make art. Like, that's what we're here to do, is make art. Like, out of everything, every experience. Yeah, I'm really excited, so I'm out of breath. But like, so I wanted to start with this because I feel like we really, as creatives, want to be different, want to be unique, want to be original. And while, yes, we are all unique, there is not one fucking thing in this world that's original. And so, wanting to create something that's original to me is another form of procrastination because it's a futile endeavor. Like, you're never going to get to that original thing, is never gonna fucking, it's not real, it doesn't exist, because every single thing comes from an inspiration, and that inspiration comes from someone or something else. So when I create a piece of art, it is an offshoot of every single experience, every single thing, belief, artwork, music, movies, everything that I've taken in, and my whole experience, and how I've personally filtered it through my own five senses, my own beliefs, my own everything, taken that in, filtered it, and I've created this fucking piece of art, whatever it is. And that is what is unique. That is where art comes from. So this thought of like, I need to be original is bullshit. Like, you will find your own voice and your own style, and it will be unique, but it will never be original. And like, I don't say that to like shit on anyone or anything, or like bum you out. It's actually really inspiring, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but hold on. Okay. So setting out to be original is only going to delay your creative process, and like I said, I feel like it's a form of procrastination. And it's going to prolong your ability to share your medicine with the world, and ultimately you'll never start because what you're looking for doesn't exist. So again, I keep saying this, it's a form of procrastination when we say, well, I want something original, I want something that doesn't exist in the world. Like, that just can't be, because one, everything comes from something else. And I think it's beautiful because my artwork or your artwork comes from every year that you collected information, every second, everything that you've taken in throughout the world. And that's unique in itself because your experiences are unique, but you filter it through your own unique filters that you have based off of the way that you see the world. And I think that that's really fucking cool. So the idea of originality, hold on, I had, okay. I said something cool in here and now I can't find it. I wanted to share it with you. Whatever. Okay, we'll find it later. So yes, this workshop is on copying. And I am not talking about plagiarism, okay? So plagiarism is when you take somebody else's work and you try to pass it off as your own. And that's doesn't feel good. It's slimy, it's immoral, and that's not at all what I'm talking about or what we're going to be doing in this workshop. So what I'm talking about is copying what you like, because through that process, you'll find your own style, your own voice, and ultimately your own personal brand. So David Bowie says, the only art I'll ever study is stuff that I can steal from. And I got this quote from Steal Like an Artist, which is my inspiration for this training. I picked up this book a couple months ago and I go to what is it, Barnes and Noble, and I'll sit and like read random books. But then I had to leave really quick, so I didn't finish it. And I picked it up again, and I'm fucking obsessed with it. So please check it out if you haven't read it or if you haven't even heard about it. Please go check it out. And just like a side note, another book that I'm reading right now that's really like inspiring me and melting my fucking brain is The Creative Act: A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. Seriously, every human being, every creative needs to read this book and also Steal Like an Artist. So, okay, so that was the side tangent. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. He says in this book, nothing that you see comes from nowhere. So that goes back to what I'm saying about, oh yeah, here's my good sentence that I was looking for. I think it's really important that as creatives, we understand that an artist's originality comes from the amalgamation of everything that inspires that artist along their journey. So we see something as like, oh, that's fucking original, and like, that's so great. It's just because you don't know who their inspirations are. You don't know um, who they've gotten their ideas from. So it's original to you. I think I lost what I was going to say, but so some of Lady Gaga's inspirations are David Bowie, Queen, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Whitney Houston, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Freddie Mercury, as well as Andy Warhol. And if you look at her music, you'll be able to witness pieces of those people, pieces of that her inspiration in her work. Does that mean that she ripped off their art? Hell no. Her art is a blend of all the inspiration that she's taken in over the years. She copied what she liked until her unique style came forward, and now she's a fucking legend. So what that's what I want to get across to you guys is like, especially if you're just starting out, find people, and I'm not just saying strictly content creators, like singers, painters, everything that inspires you, and figure out how you can take pieces of that and bring it into what you create. Because ultimately, like, and this is what I love doing in my content, and I really love doing this when I was on Instagram, just because like you could bring the music in and everything was like, what is the vibe that I want for this piece of content, or what is the aesthetic that I want for this piece of content or this program that I'm creating. And I would bring pieces of, okay, like this font makes me feel a certain way, this color makes me feel a certain way, my recent program, I some of my inspirations were Harley Quinn, um, Rihanna, and Cardi B. I fucking love Cardi B. And I you bring those people that already have an existing vibe and you bring them into your artwork, and it creates that original thing that you're trying to get to, that unique brand. So by finding where am I at? Okay. So by finding things that you can copy, I want to talk to you guys about my process and how it's helped me find my own voice and my own style, really, that has evolved over a lot over the last like 2 years since I've been creating content. And I want to share that with you guys because, one, I think it's helpful, at least for me, it's really helpful to see another creative's process. Um, I just think it's fucking badass to see other people's process, and it brings your brain out of the box. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And then also, in these workshops, I want to, because I fucking love doing dares. I don't know what it is about a dare, but like, if you're like, hey, do this homework, I fucking won't do it. But a dare, I'm like, oh, it's on. So I'm going to start giving you guys in each workshop a dare. And it's either going to be like a content dare or a personal dare, whatever, just to like light a fire under your ass and like, hey, you've got this, and I'm gonna dare you to do it because I fucking believe in you. So I'm going to share with you guys my process, and then I'll give you guys your dare. So something that's been super fucking helpful for me is I created a Pinterest board, and if you're not on Pinterest, then you can like screenshot them and keep them in a folder on your phone. But I have like an inspo board, and I started adding, like, I do 10 minutes a day, 5 to 10 minutes a day. When I first started, I was doing 10 minutes a day, but it felt like a lot every single day afterwards. But when you first start, it's good to do this. That way you can like build up ideas. So I have a Pinterest board, and I just started adding shit that I liked for 10 minutes a day. And I don't mean like hairstyles or like, I mean, I guess that could be a little bit, but like not like recipes or whatever, but like stuff that I added was like colors that I wanted to include into whether it was my content, my brand, whatever. Like here I'm talking about like broad, like your brand, your aesthetic for what you're sharing with the world, but it could even be like little smaller inspo boards of like, okay, I'm creating this program or this piece of art or whatever, and you can have like little mini ones. But spend 5 to 10 minutes a day and just adding in like colors, fonts, phrases, artists, and content creators who are creating in a similar way of what you want to be doing or what you already are doing, but you just like want to add some like whatever, like some finesse to it. Like they're doing it in a way that like you're like, oh, okay, I want to add a little bit of that to my content. And I'm also going to invite you guys to change and like throw out what you think an artist is or what art is. So like throw away the idea that an artist is just like a painter and art is just a painting in a frame, and start seeing the world. Like when you go out, like how can you look at the world in an artistic with an artistic filter of like, okay, wow, like that cloud is really fucking cool, the way it's like swishing and then like bubbly over here, or like this flower, like how can I look at this flower? Or like, for even I started doing this with like shit that's on the side of the road when I normally would be like, what an asshole, why did they throw that out? I'm like, oh wow, like that bucket is really beautiful in the way that it's smashed. And just change the way that you see the world really fucking helps to get ideas and like be open to more inspiration. I hope this, oh, Shit, sorry, I just hit my nail. I hope this is landing for you guys and not just like, what the fuck is she talking about? But okay, so yeah, change the way that you view art and what your idea of an artist is, because it's gonna fucking change the game for you. So 5 to 10 minutes a day, just add shit that inspires you. And if you wanna have it for like, okay, this program that I'm creating, or this piece of content that I'm creating, or this, how I want to create content for this next month or whatever, like, do that. Just find inspiration daily. And what else? Okay, so I think that's all I was gonna say for today. Because I think this part is so overlooked, and people don't really start, and I don't want, because I'm not like a brand manager or anything like that. But I'm talking like brand in a way. I'm gonna say brand, but I mean just like aesthetic. So like, a lot of people don't think about their brand, or we'll call it aesthetic, before they get to a certain point in their business. And I think it leaves a lot of newer entrepreneurs and content creators kind of like out there floundering, like, and, and they go from one extreme to another. Like, oh, I want to do my colors red and black. And then, oh, I want to do this, because they're not really like asking themselves what they like. They're just like going by the seat of their pants. And I'm speaking from experience, because I was gonna pull this up for you, but I don't know how to like share my screen and all that, and it feels like it might be like fucking a whole thing. But when I first started, you can go through all of my content, you go to the very bottom, and like you can see where I was like just floundering and like I have no fucking idea. And then I started like copying. I started copying what coaches that I liked, what they were doing. And then I started realizing through that process, like, ooh, I don't fucking like this. That does not look like me at all. And I would, you know, do different things, and through that process, I started like breaking out of that weird like constriction that you put on yourself when you first start creating content, of like, I don't want to copy people, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I'm not going to do anything, or like I'm just going to do like this weird thing that doesn't even align to me. So yeah, that was kind of a tangent, but like, creating this inspo board fucking helped me, because I was like, oh, okay, one, it helps me because I like to like, I see things all over the place, and I'm like, oh, squirrel, like I like this. And it helped me really like focus in on like, oh, okay, this is, while Claire likes this, I think I want to just like bring, this is the specific thing, this is the aesthetic that I want to bring into my brand. Whereas like, okay, I like unicorns and rainbows, but like that's not necessarily the colors that, or the things that I want to bring into my brand. And by having this inspo board, it helped me stay focused without having like really tight boundaries on myself. I hope this is landing for you guys. And you're, because this is like one of my favorite things. So I hope I'm being like clear about it. So yeah, your guys' dare is going to be, I want you guys to create an inspo board, or like a folder of inspo stuff for you, and just start adding to it. If 10 minutes a day feels excessive, do 5 days, or whatever, 3 minutes, just do it. And what you'll see over time is like, what you're into right now is going to evolve and become more clear and more, yeah, more clear a month from now, and 3 months from now, and a year from now. Like seriously, when I go through my board all the way to that, like a year ago, whenever I think it was a year ago when I started it, it's like you can tell like that my overall vibe hasn't changed, but it's gotten more clear and more focused and more like me, rather than like in the beginning of like, oh, I saw this person doing this, so that looked cool to me. Now it's like, okay, this is more me. And I think that's like the overall point of this is like, don't be afraid to copy the people that you love and the people who inspire you, because through that copying you're gonna find your own voice. So like, whatever, if you feel like you're a little bit samey, it's okay. You have to start somewhere, and through that samey feel, you're gonna find your voice and you're gonna find your originality. So that's all I have for you guys today. And thank you guys for that resonates. Oh, now, sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. I couldn't see. Okay, let me see. That resonates so well. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I guess I can ask that, right? Thank you. If you guys don't have any questions, then that's it. And I look forward to the next one. If there's any like questions or anything, you can just like drop them in the chat. And yeah, this was fun. Love you guys. Bye.